Shalom and welcome to Parasha Espresso, the weekly fix for spiritual lessons taken from the Parashat. Have your coffee and let's take a look at the weekly Torah reading.
This week we'll be looking at Parashat Tavo, which runs from Deuteronomy chapter 26 verse 1 to chapter 29 verse 8.
Enjoy it and don't forget to give us your feedback on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube or via our website.
It was the future. 3 times longer and twice as tall as a Boeing 747 aeroplane, it was designed to ferry passengers to and fro across the Atlantic. And yet, in May 1937, the pride of Germany, the Hindenburg Zeppelin, went up in flames. While to this day the cause of the fire is not known, inflating the airship's massive balloon with hydrogen, a highly flammable gas, was perhaps not the best decision. Choices, choices, choices. Every day we're confronted with a myriad of different choices, from whether we want milk in our coffee to whether we need to find a new job or not. While some choices don't seem very important to us, others can hang over us and make us incredibly afraid. We can be haunted by thoughts of what if, and we can spend hours or even days going over different scenarios in our mind. None of us ever want to make a wrong choice. In fact, the fear of making wrong choices is so well documented that it even has an official name, decidophobia. If I'm honest with you, this week's parasha isn't light bedtime reading. Moses is getting to the end of his retelling and expanding of the Torah, and this week he starts talking to our people about blessings and curses. Blessings for listening to God and choosing His ways, and curses for ignoring Him and choosing our own ways. The blessings, of course, make for wonderful reading. We'll always have enough to eat and wear, our children will be healthy, and it'll make us the happiest nation on earth. Basically, if we choose to be on God's side, life will be great. However, God follows on from talking about blessing to talking about curses. We looked in detail at curses in an earlier podcast, and these ones make our hair stand on end. In fact, these curses are so chilling because they read like a history of our people. We won't have enough food, we'll be sick and die. There will be famine in our land, nothing we do will succeed, and ultimately God will send enemies to throw us out of our land, and we'll be despised in the lands where He sends us to. I'll leave you to read the rest of the details. So, Moses spells out for the people what it will mean to follow God, and they're presented with a choice, blessings or curses. In fact, next week in Parashat Netzavim, Moses will tell our people that they have a choice between life and death. He admonishes them, choose life. Making decisions isn't easy. We know that from experience. All of us have made decisions that we later live to regret. If only I decided differently, we sometimes find ourselves saying. And yet we are, to an extent, the people we are today because of the choices we've made. Maybe when you look back over your life, you see a long list of bad choices. Bad career choices, bad romantic choices, bad life choices. Perhaps you found yourself choosing death because it's been packaged as life. The bad choices that you and I make happen because we don't consult God. We don't ask our Creator what we should do, nor listen to all that He's told us in the Bible, because we either think we know it better, or we think that God isn't interested. That's not true. God is so interested in our lives, and He wants us to make right choices more than we do. In fact, the reason why He tells people to choose His ways is not just that He can bless them, but because He knows His ways are the best ways. I mean, it makes sense, right? The Creator of the universe should surely know what is best for all of His creation. When we choose to go our own way, He lets us, and as a result we choose death and find ourselves empty, unfulfilled, slaves to addiction, and struggling to survive. And we find ourselves making the wrong decisions again and again because we are broken and morally bankrupt people who have a corrupted nature. That's why our people didn't choose life. That's why our judges, kings, and priests made bad choices, and that's why God ultimately scattered us among the rest of the nations. We chose death. But God didn't completely abandon us to our wrong decisions. Through the death and resurrection of the Messiah Yeshua, He offers us to hand in our broken nature and to be reborn. Now we can choose life and make right decisions that are the best for us and that honor God. Of course, we're still fallible human beings and we will still make wrong decisions. But now God promises us that everything will work out for good for those who love God and who are called according to His purpose. Now we have someone to turn to when we don't know what decision to make, and someone who will catch us when we make the wrong decision. The irony is, there's a choice for us to make, just as there was a choice for the makers of the Hindenburg Zeppelin. They chose highly flammable hydrogen because it was cheaper than something much more sensible such as helium. Wrong priorities led them to make wrong choices. What are our priorities in life? Are we willing to choose God and His Messiah, Yeshua, and live a life with purpose and meaning? Or are we going to continue to choose our own ways, which lead to moral, metaphorical, and sometimes actual death? The choice is yours to make. Make it the best decision you've ever made. Choose Yeshua. Choose life.
That's it for this episode. We hope you enjoyed our Parasha Espresso. Please don't forget to subscribe to make sure you get the latest episodes. We'd love to hear from you, so please get in touch with us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, or via our website at 𝐓𝐚𝐬𝐡𝐚